Hi everybody, welcome to Caketastic Cakes. It's Jen and I'm going to show you how to make Spongebob and Patrick out of gum paste. Now just like always, if there's any tools or supplies you see me use that you could use, if you check the link in the description below, it should be able to help you out. Okay, to begin with our Spongebob, we're going to start with yellow gum paste. I rolled it out pretty thick, it's maybe half an inch thick or so, and I'm cutting it into a rectangle. I'm using my veining tool here to just put, I think I put 4 indentations on each side, well the 3 sides. I put it on the top and the 2 sides, and I rolled it around, you can see, so I made sure to get the front corners and edges as well as the back corners and edges. I'm rounding off the top 2 little corners there because SpongeBob is kind of like when you draw a cloud when you're a little kid, it's just loop-de-loop-de-loops, little humps everywhere. That's what you're going for. I put 2 hollows there in the center with my ball tool. They're very big. Watch the spacing. His eyes do touch in the center, so you're going to want them real close together. So as I'm putting in the balls of white gum paste, I'm going to press them together, and you see how they're kind of humping out a little bit. That way they will actually connect just a little bit in the center there. Okay, now I'm using this black gum paste. I cut it rolled it really, really thin. And I'm going to cut really long, thin little rectangles. And even those were too thick, so I ended up splitting them in half. These are going to be SpongeBob's eyelashes. He has 3 to each eye, and they are very noticeable and distinct, but they're not real long, and they're very straight. They're not curly or curved or anything like that. So I have 1 in the center, 1 off to each side of that center one, and keep them more to the top of the eye. Don't put them off to the side at all or anything. Just very much, very much at the top. Very short, very rectangular, very squared off, you might say. I'm using that same thickness of gum paste. I cut a long strip as you see here, and I put it on his face, curved it around to make his smile. It goes up into the corners of his eyes, so I'm using my X-Acto knife to cut it so it just kind of tapers up into the corners. And I'm going to end up covering it with his cheeks. You'll see that in a moment. And what I'm doing right now, though, is I've got some very light blue, and I am using 2 small little balls of it to do the pupils, or excuse me, the irises of his eyes. His eyes are a very nice blue, but when you place them, make sure you place them toward the center, almost like he's cross-eyed. He's not quite, but almost cross-eyed. And keep them small. He has much more white going on to his eyes than the color. I'm using a little bit of black dot in each one. There you go. And you can see he's got the pupils now. Okay, this white is going to be his teeth. I rolled it out really thin, just like that black, and I'm just going to cut out 2 little squares, as you see. And what I did is I placed them close together, but so they're not touching, and I'm using the circle cutter that kind of followed the shape of the smile that I made to cut curves out. So now those teeth will like line up right with the black of the mouth. And the bottom of the teeth, you see me use the blade there, I lined it up. So his teeth are actually like flat across on the bottom, and they just go up into the smile. I'm using 2 little yellow balls of gum paste to top off his cheeks. They do overlap the eye a little bit, so watch where you place them. And now I'm going to make his nose. I have a little piece of dried spaghetti. I put basically like a Tic Tac size piece of gum paste on there, and make it kind of light bulb shaped so it's bigger on the end than in the center. Just press it into place. There you go. See, he's got a cute little face. This brown, if you can't guess already, is going to become his pants, his square pants. I roll it nice and thin once again, cut a rectangle, and I'm just going to wrap it around him like a belt, basically. I was doing that right there just to see how straight I made my cut, which turns out was not very. It definitely got fatter as I went along down the line there. But fortunately, that's okay, because I only need a little bit of it. So I wrapped it around, trim off the extra. I had painted a little bit of water around him first before I wrapped the brown around him. Make sure it's at the bottom of his body so there's no yellow showing out, no little hiney showing from the bottom there. And now I'm going to do the same thing with white. I cut a strip. I did much better this time. I didn't show you, but when it matched up, it was much better. Proud of myself on that one. And again, just wrap it all the way around. Pick a back corner edge or something to match them up. Cut them off where they meet and just press them into place. Yeah. I'm using this ball tool, the small part of it, to make a couple little ripples in the front of his shirt. Because if you look at pictures of him, his shirt doesn't go straight across. It's like the yellow of his sponginess comes out a little bit and kind of causes little dips in it. Those two little white triangles I made are going to be the collar of his shirt. I just stuck them on there. I'm not going to actually place them until I make his tie, which is what I'm working on here. I cut out a red diamond, and I'm going to end up trimming it to make it fit. This was just to get me started. And then you cut out a triangle. You see what I got going there? It's a little too big, so I cut off the top, and you cut off the bottom, so it's no longer pointed. It's got a flat bottom. And then you're going to trim off the flat tip or the pointed tip at the top of your diamond for the body of the tie. And again, like I said, I trimmed it off to make it a little smaller. It was a little too big because his tie should extend about halfway down his pants. It doesn't go all the way down, so be careful of how you do that. Okay, moving on. Again, here we go. We're doing his arms and his hands now. These are super skinny and kind of long, but that's okay. We'll trim them as we need. I flatten the end of each one, and then I trim a little triangle off center on the inside of each one, and that's going to separate the thumb from what's going to become the rest of his hand. And then I go ahead and make a couple little cuts, just like that. He's got 4 fingers, not 5, so be careful of that. And I trimmed them off and round them up a little bit so they look nicer, and I did it with both hands. So now he's got a right hand and a left hand. And what I did here was I bent his hands right at the wrist. So now it will be attached to his body, and it'll look like his weight is being supported on his hands, like he's got straight arms with just his hands bent holding his body up. So I've got the one arm with the hand bent. I took some white, as you saw, that I'd rolled out, trimmed off a flat edge for the bottom of his sleeve, because that's what I'm turning these into, and round off the top nicely, and then stick it on his body. And you don't have to worry too much about the placement of his arms or the sleeves, because somehow in SpongeBob land they move all over the place. His sleeves just detach from his shirt and fly all over his head and body, wherever they need to go. So as long as you have your arms straight and your sleeves up, it looks pretty good, right? Not too shabby. I'm using a food coloring marker here to draw the marks of, I guess it's his belt of his pants. And I did it on the front, and I did it on the sides, which you can't see because his arms are in the way, and on the back. All right, now these are going to be his legs. I am using a piece of dried spaghetti that I am threading through the gum paste that I rolled out. And you saw me very briefly roll it out. You want these legs to be skinny, like his arms were skinny, but these are skinny. Okay, so I trimmed off the extra, as you saw. I rolled it out again, trimmed it off some more, got it to a good length, and now I am going to add the pants. As you can see, I rolled off kind of like a little sausage there. I'm hollowing it out to kind of flare it out. So when I thread the brown onto the leg, that hollowed out area will kind of wrap around the leg. So now his pants cover his leg, and his leg is coming out from his pants. They are not the same thickness. So you see what I got going there? You see how it fits in? Now what you did to the one leg, you're going to do it to the other leg, but match them up so you make sure they're the same length, because you don't want them having one really long leg and one really short one, because that would look weird. And again, I'm using just another piece of dried spaghetti, sticking it on in there. If you decide to use dried spaghetti like I'm doing, you got to use regular spaghetti. You can't use like the whole wheat or rice or anything like that. It doesn't work, I don't know. And I use this instead of toothpicks because I don't want any kids getting hurt on decorations. Kids will grab them and bite them. And my son was one of those kids who ended up getting stuck on a toothpick. So not on my watch. My decorations are all safe. And this is why I'm doing it this way. This is why sometimes it's harder. Okay, I'm sorry. I made the shoes. I made 2 black teardrops basically, and then flattened a ball and put it at the base of the teardrop and then pressed it on, and those became his shoes. And I'm going to cut out 2 little squares. You see I got it going right there? Pressing it onto the bottom of his foot, and those become the heels of his shoes. So now he's got his little black dress shoes that he always wears. All right, red and blue markers. Here we go. Putting the stripes on his socks. I just drew them on. The blue goes on top of the white sock. The red goes next. And this is one of those things, I shouldn't have done it this way, honestly. I think it would have looked better if I just cut really skinny little pieces of red and blue, because the white wasn't dry yet, so it didn't draw as well as I hoped it would. I could have done it better. I'm using an orange edible food coloring marker to make his circles or his spots on his body. And I followed the picture that I had of him on where I placed them, and they all kind of angle to the one side. So when you do this, pay attention to the location and how many there are. Pay attention to the direction they go. And yeah, SpongeBob, right? Not too shabby. All right, what would SpongeBob be without Patrick? I am starting out with a big piece of pink. It's not true pink. It's actually got a little bit of maroon in it. So he's kind of like an off pink. He's not quite pink. So watch your coloring. As you can see, I kind of made basically like a fat rounded Hershey kiss. I took some nice light green, made a circle that I flattened out there, kind of just a pancake basically. That's going to become his pants or his shorts, I guess. I don't, his bathing suit? Yeah, I guess it's bathing suit. I pinched off the top to make it connect up with the pink of his body pretty nicely, but there is a seam there and I'm not worried about it. You're going to see what I'm going to do in a second. But first I'm going to ram him through with a lollipop stick because he needed the support. He was kind of slopping down on top. I'm taking that same green as before, roll it out nice and thin, and I'm cutting a long strip. And I'm going to use this to make the waistband of his shorts. And like I said before, that little bit of a sloppy seam we've got between the two colors, no problem because this little waistband's gonna hide it all. I used some water to paint around the edge. I connect it in the back so no one has to look at the ugly seam. And just very carefully place the two together. And there you go. See, already he's looking very SpongeBob-y. And it's funny because my husband saw me working on this video and he's like, why did you make a pink Hershey kiss? I'm like, oh, no, it's not a Hershey kiss. But anyway, that little ball right there, I pressed in the top so it sticks out a little bit at the bottom. That's his belly button. And this bit of pink is going to become his leg. It is, as you can see, just a very gentle little cone. I rolled it in my hands. There's nothing special here. I flatten it on my surface that I'm working on. Taking some more of that same green. I'm going to cut that piece and watch what I do. I kind of just flatten it. That's it. Just like you made his body with his shorts, you're doing the same exact thing to make the leg. You're just going to seal the two together with a little bit of water and then press it onto his body. Make sure that the leg connects underneath that waistband though, otherwise it's going to look a little bit weird that his legs are coming out like his waist instead of more under his body. Alright, this bit is going to become his arms. They're very short, so pay attention to that and pay attention to the location. I cut it off at an angle there and I'm just flattening it between my fingers, making sure not to lose too much of the roundedness on the other end. A little bit of water painted on there. And place it on his body. Keep them low on his body. You see how it's just barely above his waistline? That's where you want it to be. He's very kind of relaxed and melted kind of in his body structure. So everything is very hung low. This ball of white that I'm flattening into an oval is going to become his eyes. You can see I already attached the one there. And these, you don't want the same size. His one eye is usually drawn bigger than the other. So be careful with that if you want to do it that way. I chose to. His pupils are just black beans. They're not circles, so be careful of that. And again, like SpongeBob, they're more placed toward the center. I'm going to do something pretty tricky here, so pay attention. This is pretty good. This is going to be his eyebrows. His eyebrows, if you look at them, are kind of like an equal sign with a line through it. It's kind of like a letter Z almost, so that's what I did. I rolled it out really thin, and then I bent it into a letter Z and just crimped it up real tight on itself. And then place them carefully over his eyes. It looks pretty good. I was like real proud of myself on something as silly as his eyebrow. But that's where the details go in, right? The details are what matter and make the difference. And it came out pretty good. So I did the same thing. It's another letter Z in the same direction. It's not even the opposite direction. But when you place them over top, it really suits him, right? Now I'm taking another thin little piece there and making a very gentle little smile off to the side. I'm not having it centered. It's just kind of cocked over to the side. Using my pink food coloring marker and just putting a couple little pink dots here and there on his body. Don't go crazy. Don't give him chicken pox or measles or anything like that, but you do want to give him just a little speckling of freckles there. And now I'm using some purple marker to draw on the flowers of his suit. And you had SpongeBob and you have Patrick, right? Pretty good. And I hope you found this video helpful. Please like and subscribe because I find that helpful. I'm going to have more SpongeBob coming out soon. I have lots of other videos already out, so check those out. And as always, thank you for watching Caketastic Cakes.